Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel, to AKM2B, the mountain bike channel that has much more than just mountain biking. Today I got a new product. I got the Lucas Transmission Fix. This is a liquid that you put into your transmission of a vehicle. In my case, I'm gonna put it in my Jeep XJ. What this does is that it stops leaks, stops slips, makes shifting smoother, and overall improving your transmission and how it performs. I never tried this before, and I'm not even sure if I have any huge issue with my transmission, though my Jeep is quite old. It's from 2001. It's been around for a while. What I'm going to do with this is that I'm going to tap out some of the oil from the transmission because I don't want to overfill it. So this one contains 710 milliliters, which is equal to 24 what is that, ounces? Well, it's a bottle. It's a small bottle. So I'm gonna put everything in there and see what differences I might get. Because one thing that I noticed is that at some cases the shift is quite distinct. Like it's hard. It's like, especially from like first to second, and also when it's like cold. And yeah, sometimes I got that. I don't know if that's an issue or what it is, because I had the same thing on my other Jeeps that I had. So perhaps it's a Jeep thing, perhaps there will be an improvement with this, or yeah, anything. It's interesting to see what will happen. So let's head out in the garage and let's get started. Here we are in the garage. And one of the first things I'm going to do is to open up the transmission pan and remove the amount of transmission fluid that is equal to the amount of transmission fix from Lucas that I'm pouring in. Let's see if I manage to do this without making a big mess. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. There it is. It's off. Okay, so the plug is out. Don't drop this because then you're screwed. And that's it. Yeah, I'm almost up to 6 deciliters. I think that will be fine. Now we'll tighten this again. Don't over tight this, because if you destroy the threads you have a problem. It's time to put the Lucas in there, and make sure that you put it into the transmission, not the oil. They are similar in color, but the engine oil has a text on it and the transmission has a special symbol. So make sure you put it in the right one, otherwise you're probably gonna have a problem. It says that the engine should be warm, and the engine and the transmission should be warm and running when you're doing this, but I'm gonna ignore that because then you wouldn't hear what I'm saying, and I honestly don't think it's gonna make such a big difference in the long term. So remove the dipstick, and could be advisable to check it out where the level is now. It's just in between, and I should probably have dried it off, but make sure it's okay with the level before you pour it in. And cut this off, and the bottle should be pretty good just to use as it is, or maybe not. Whoa, this one is really thick. It's the classic one. You're looking for tools. In this case I was looking for a funnel, and of course I didn't find find it. So so I'm gonna use this funnel, fill it up, and gee. You know, if you recognize this behavior, write that in the comment. So this funnel is really nice. I use that to fill up the differentials and stuff like that. Small projects that always gets bigger because you don't find stuff that you're looking for, and there's the surprises. So now I'm gonna fill up this, and this is cool because you will see how thick this is. So that's probably one of the main things that it does. It increases the viscosity of the fluid. That's a funny sound. You see, I really have to push it. Whoa. And there it overflows. So, well, it's not overflowing but it's because it's so thick. It even ran over if I don't let it go down. It goes really, really slow. This is probably the most complicated liquid that I ever been refilling. Okay, I just gonna leave it there and make it fill up with the magic of editing. Just have a look on this and see how thick it is. It is like a syrup. So really tricky to get in, but I think it's gonna be very nice. The remaining thing to do now is to start up the engine and let it run warm and let the transmission to get warm. Then I'm gonna cycle it through all the different modes, P, neutral, and then I'm gonna take it for a drive and I'm gonna see if there's a difference. We are in the Jeep now, and what I've done is that I let it run and just idle until the engine is warm and until the temperature is up. That doesn't necessarily mean that the transmission is up to the right temperature. That takes a little bit longer. The indication on the dashboard is mainly for the cooling system. So what I'm gonna do now is just to drive it around a little bit in order to get the temperature and the transmission fluid insert. So now I'm gonna drive it around for like 30 minutes and then I'm gonna see if I noticed any difference, and I also gonna see if I notice any difference when I'm driving it compared to how it was before, or if it changed during my drive. I've been driving the Jeep for about 20 minutes or something like that, and so far I'm not quite sure if I could tell any noticeable difference. After some days of driving, I started to notice differences. Therefore, I added an extra part to this film in the end. When I put it in gear, I still have that clunk. Like this. Now I'm in neutral and I go to drive. And it's kind of like you feel it engaging, and well, maybe that's a Jeep thing, I don't know. It's been like that on my other Jeeps as well, so maybe it is a Jeep thing. When it's shift, I feel like it's quite smooth. If I'm smooth on the gas pedal. If I'm not smooth on the gas pedal and push it all the way down, then it's not so smooth. Then you definitely feel that it's engaging. It's like and I don't know, some say that's a good thing, because if it's not like that, it has to be a slip in the transmission. I also checked on the dipstick, and there's still some like sticky residue on the dipstick, so I think this needs to go out in the system properly before you're able to tell the difference. So I'm gonna drive it a little bit more, and I'm gonna see if it changed or if I noticed any differences. So here we are, back after quite a long test ride. You know, I tend to enjoy driving this Jeep, and when I'm going for a test ride, for a short ride, or if I'm going to the store, it tends to be quite long rides. So was the case with this ride, and unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you see it, I can't really say that I noticed any differences by adding the Lucas additive, the transmission fix. From that, there is two conclusions to take. One is that my transmission is worn out and it doesn't fix anything. The other conclusion is that my transmission is just in a good condition and there's no improvements to be done. There might be some leaks or like internal leaks or something like that, which this additive should fix. I don't know, that's a good thing. So I kind of leans more towards that my transmission is just good enough. The things I don't like with it, like when you put it in gear and it's like hitting a little bit hard, I suppose that's a Jeep thing, right? At least that's what I think, because, well, all my Jeeps have been like that, and I never had any failure with any transmission, so I assume that it's just it's in a good condition. And I can't really say that it's because of I recently changed the filter and the fluid, so I know that that ain't something that makes the performance of the transmission any worse. What I'm looking forward to see, though, is how it will feel when I start it with a cold engine, and because it takes a while for the oil to like get circulated, and I noticed that this Lucas is like really sticky. So what it actually does is that it's increased the viscosity of the oil, and it's also, when it spreads around, it kind of like sticks more, so it's giving you a more permanent lubrication than you perhaps wouldn't get normally when the oil is thinner and it doesn't stick as good as the Lucas. I can't really say that there's anything. I can't really say that it's a bad idea to add the Lucas. I could only see benefits with it. So for this time, well, I could just keep adding it and it would be the same. That's my conclusion. But overall, the Lucas product I tried for the differentials, tried the oil stabilizer, they have been good. I even running Lucas oil in my engine, and when I did an oil change, I kind of like noticed a difference, and that oil change was made in a way where I had like pretty fresh oil since before, but on another brand, and then I added the Lucas and the Lucas stabilizer, and I noticed a difference. So overall, I hear good stuff about Lucas, and many people say it's okay and good stuff, and I kind of agree, but in this case the transmission is just as it was before.
This is an update on the Lucas transmission fix that I added in my transmission. When I did a video, I didn't notice any noticeable difference as they claim that you should do instantly. From that I took two conclusions. Either my transmission is too worn out to be fixed, or it's not worn out, so therefore it didn't make any difference. But I started to notice some difference, though, especially when I take it when it's cold. Those first shifts when the engine is cold and the transmission is cold especially, they are much smoother, which kind of makes sense because that stuff was really thick. So I guess it sticks better on the part that it should lubricate. And that thing that I think maybe it's a G thing when you're putting it into gear and you feel like that thing kind of got smoother sometimes. So maybe it is a G thing or maybe not. I don't know. Let me know in the comments about that if you know that thing. So there is a difference from the Lucas transmission fix that I put in there. It's not an obvious one, but it is a diffuse difference. An obvious diffuse difference. Yeah, I think I have to say that I'm impressed. Or maybe not impressed, that's maybe the wrong word, but it does what it claims to do, and the Lucas products are still something that I like. They are good, they does what they claim to do, and they seems to, well, deliver, I guess you could say.
And I hope you're enjoying the video. I hope you enjoyed to see me doing something simple, much more complicated than it has to be, though I kind of blame the Lucas product because it's so thick, so it's really hard to get in there. If you want to see more videos like this, there will be a playlist here where you could see more Jeep related videos, and click down here to subscribe. And there's also like a bell that you should click somewhere to get like notifications on when I'm uploading a new video. And I upload a new video once a week. If there's something you want to see on the channel, let me know. Thanks for watching, and I see you soon.